What it do, guys? Manjoume here, and today we're checking out all of the DC deck building game Kickstarter exclusive Multiverse Edition sets, such as DC Deck Building Game 1, Teen Titans, Forever Evil, Heroes Unite, Confrontations, and Dark Knight's Metal. Now, I did personally go ahead and get the rulebooks for every single one of these separately. That did cost extra, but it does give you the added benefit of, one, the artwork, which I think looks amazing on each one of them, any specific ruling for the cards that may be needed. Teen Titans, love that art. Confrontation, well, actually, I think it's do. I'm thinking. And this one, I love that. Looking great, and it has a bag that I can just put it back in. So what card content is in these? True to the label, they all have what's written on them, the labels. So I'm not going to be opening the DC deck building game number 1 because I already have this, so don't need to open it. But I will be opening Teen Titans, Forever Evil, Confrontations, Heroes Unite, and Dark Knight's Metal. So let's set the rest of them aside for now and open up Teen Titans. Now, once the Kickstarter was announced and they showed off that they were including these in some form, I knew I would get them. So I actually held off on buying a lot of the DC deck building game and really just took it off my personal radar, well, because of this. Now, this is a very bare bones edition, meaning you get literally just the cards. I did get the manual, but that was a separate purchase. And if... oh, that's... like, how does this come out? It bent. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter too much. So you have your main deck cards. Then you have your oversized character cards. And these are all reprints. I don't think it says reprint anywhere, although it does have a trademark of 2022. When this would have been printed, I suppose. So let's take a quick look at least the superheroes in this set. We have Raven. Once during each of your turns, if you control 2 or more villains, put a superpower from your discard pile into your hand. Right off the bat, if you're making a deck using Raven, you're going to want to put a lot of villains and superpowers. Luckily, you can also put kicks. Those do count. So that seems like that'll be tons of fun. Red Robin. Once during each of your turns, if you control 2 or more heroes, +1 power and put an equipment for your discard pile into your hand. This seems very close to Raven, but I think it might actually be a bit more fun for me because I like using equipment, and getting just the +1 power seems pretty strong. Next we have Beast Boy. Once during each of your turns, you may discard a card. If you do, put a non-starter with that card type and cost 6 or less from your discard pile into your hand. So you can put something that you would have bought earlier, maybe a kick, and get another stronger superpower. I can see this being pretty cool for recycling, though I don't think it's as strong as some of the others. Superboy. Once during each of your turns, if you control 2 or more different superpowers, +1 power and draw a card. Drawing cards is always good. Obviously, you're going to be getting a bunch of superpowers if you're playing as him. And it does say different superpowers. So if you buy one from the lineup, buy a kick, and then bam, 1 or more. Or sorry, 2 or more. Blue Beetle. Once during each of your turns, if you control 7 or more cards, draw a card. So, I mean, it does say control. So if you have multiple cards, including ongoing cards, that'll count. So I guess with Blue Beetle, you want to amass a bunch of ongoing cards, such as this Lady Vic. Though with Superboy, you just need to play 2 different superpowers. So I don't know how often you're going to be able to get this off unless it plays specifically with Teen Titans. Next up, Starfire. During each of your turns, if you control 4 different card types, you may destroy a card you control. That at first doesn't sound very good, but it is amazing for destroying 1 vulnerabilities and 2 weaknesses, as well as punches later in the game. Wonder Girl. Once during each of your turns, if you control 2 or more equipment, draw 2 and then discard 1. I don't hate that, honestly, because drawing in general is really good, and then, discarding is gonna be the price to pay for drawing 2. I think my favorite superhero from this set is gotta be Superboy because of how easy it is to get his power. Buy a kick, and then buy any one from the lineup, and you've made your condition. So, not bad. So let's check out the first set of the main deck cards. We're not going to go over the effects of all of them, but we will just kind of pass through them. Birdarang, Colony Suit, a few of those. Magic Bracers, Cybernetic Enhancement, that's kind of creepy. Detonator, kind of cool. Flight Wings, Cloak of Raven, kind of on the nose. Then we have a Lasso of Lightning, probably different from Lasso of Truth. That's kind of neat. Silent Armor, which I think is also her, but that's pretty neat actually. The T-Wing, Reach Scarab, Arsenal, Bumblebee, Ravager, Solstice, Aqualad, that's kind of cool. Jericho, wow. Miss Martian, Jaime Reyes, Bunker, Hawk and Dove, ooh, Static, Cassie Sandsmark, Garfield Logan, Coriander, Connor Kent, Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, Daughter of Trigon, Vic Stone, Titans Memorial, Azarath, Teen Titans Tower, The Colony, Cadmus Labs, Tamaran, Acrobatic Ability, Shapeshift. And oh, then we have kicks. Oh, I didn't know we had the starter cards in here too, or the basic cards. So that's a pretty cool kick. They're just gonna keep going. Molecular Vibration. Pretty cool. Energy Absorption. Geokinesis. Azarath Metreon Zinthos. Oh, there's only one though. Cost of 5. Oh, it's an ongoing card, so I guess a lot of these do kind of go with their controlling abilities. And we have Demonic Influence, Tactile Telekinesis, Speed Force. Oh wow, that's really good. 2 power and draw 2. Teen Titans Go, Hive Agent, Gizmo. That's a funny one. Zookeeper. I don't even know who. I'm guessing that's a Beast Boy villain. It would make sense, really. Let's check out the second stack here. Lady Vic, Mad Mob, Plasmus, Cinderblock, Phobia, Shimmer, Grant Wilson, Mammoth. Oh, that's kind of cool, and he has a defense. That's really neat. Inertia, Jinx, Match, Sons of Trigon, Slade Wilson. Okay, we have our super villain, Clock King, Harvest, Cheshire, Simon, oh no, Terra, the Brain and Monsieur Mala, Blackfire, Brother Blood, Dr. Light. That seems pretty high, though I don't know anything about the comics. I only know from the old cartoon. Superboy Prime, another really strong one. Trigon, that would be the most powerful one. And let's see, I don't think there's anything where it says it has to be the final one. So that's just pretty cool. So your punches, some cool artwork. And the one thing I like about getting all the starter cards, such as the vulnerabilities and the weaknesses, is that you can choose when you're playing to have any one person playing get a specific set of these punches, and then maybe I'll use a different set of punches from the base game or from Heroes Unite. So they can all be different, and you can kind of really differentiate and make yourself feel a little more special. So that is the Teen Titans set, and we have a lot more left. So without further ado, let's go into Heroes Unite. It should be a pretty cool one. I'm not sure what I'm expecting of this other than maybe just a continuation from the first one. Or the base game. Because I knew Teen Titans would have, obviously, Teen Titan characters. Forever Evil will likely be, you know, you can play as the bad guys. Which is also pretty cool, gotta say. But I'm guessing this is just going to bolster what we got in the original set. Which I think we have videos of on the channel now. But, let's see what we added. Okay. Set those aside. Oh, this is topical. Okay, first off we have Shazam. You may pay 4 power if you do gain the top card of the main deck. You may put it on top of your deck or into your discard pile. So not too dissimilar from the base set's Riddler. So I like that actually. Hawkman, +1 power for each hero you play during your turn. This must have been one of the first secondary set, because we had cards just like this. We had one for Superman, he had +1 for each different superpower you play. Then Batman, +1 power for each tech card you play. Hawkman obviously is going to be +1 for each hero you play, so that's what I'm going to guess this is. Once during each of your turns for Red Tornado, if there are 4 or more different card types in your discard pile, +2, so that's really strong, I think. We have Nightwing. The first time you play an equipment during your turn, +1. Second time you play an equipment, draw a card. That's not bad. You just have to play 2, which obviously you're going to be buying a bunch when you're playing as him. Not bad. Black Canary, +1 power for each villain you play. Don't know how thematic that is to the character, but, you know, you're going to be playing a bunch of villains if you're playing as her. Batgirl. Once during each of your turns, you may discard a punch, and if you do, draw a card. So that'll be really good later on as just, well, I don't want this. +1 isn't quite enough, but I know I have some good stuff in there. Booster Gold. +1 for each defense card you play during your turn. When you avoid an attack, draw a card. In addition, a lot of them already have that effect, so that's actually not bad either. And one thing I love about this is that they tell you exactly what set they're from, so I can just put it on the stack that we have from before and not have to worry about mixing them. Although, as for like a favorite, it might be Booster Gold. You know, that was the last one I went to, but that kind of was my favorite. I mean, the perforation is really nice, because once I get it going, I can go around that and be able to get the whole thing by itself. So another Batarang. Legion Flight Ring. Oh, wow. Helmet of Fate. I like that. Soul Taker's Sword. If you know who wields that, let me know in the comments. Skeets. Blue Lantern Power Ring. Green Lantern Power Ring. Indigo Tribe Power Ring. Orange Lantern Power Ring. Red Lantern Power Ring. Star Sapphire Power Ring. Yellow Lantern Core Power Ring. Science Cell. Mind Control Hat. White Lantern Power Battery. Hot Girl. Katana. Daughter of Gotham City. Plastic Man. Huh. Oh, Raven. That's why the other one was Daughter of Trigun. Although, that's not bad. +1 power and draw 1 card. Hero of the Future. Deadman. Sonic Siren. Crimson Whirlwind. Saint Walker. Superboy. Wonder of the Night. Warrior Princess. Winged Warrior. Jason Blood. Kyle Rayner. World's Mightiest Mortal. Apocalypse. Gotham City. Metropolis. Oa. New Genesis. Then we have our base cards, which are Shazam doing punches, which is pretty cool. Vulnerabilities is Batgirl not having a great time. So that might be a lot of what this is. Let's see if there's anything else. I think it might just be the vulnerabilities and the weaknesses. but we'll at least check them out. Yeah. Okay, Whirlwind, Force Field, Kick. Okay, the kicks of the base card. Power of the Green. Oh, that's pretty cool. Canary Cry. Starbolt. It's really cool. Shazam. Ooh, those are powerful. Teleportation. Deadshot. Ooh, that's good. Ocean Master. Talon. Jervis Tetch. Manhunter. Oh, there's a bunch of those. Mr. Zaz. Dr. Savannah. Wait, isn't he a Shazam villain? I think that's from the movie. Killer Croc. Parasite. Granny Goodness. Red Lantern Corps. It's pretty cool. Black Lantern Corps. Brother Blood. Not bad, actually. Larfleeze, who is the Orange Lantern. I think there's only the one. And I think he's like a Christmas villain, honestly. The Demon Etrigan. Ooh, and then let's skip that. And then we have weaknesses. I think that's Superboy being hit by some kind of kryptonite gun. Alright, so our super villains are Vandal Savage. Does he have to be the first one? Starts the game at the top. Okay, I was just kind of wondering. Graves. Hellel. Okay. Ooh, Mr. Freeze. Amazo. Archilo. Hellspawn. Black Adam. That's kind of cool. Hector Hammond. Ugh. Mongol. Necron. And Trigon. I think Crisis 1 had like all of them, but like epic versions or like, well, I guess Crisis versions that are more difficult to defeat. One thing I like about these is that you could take any one of these and have a perfectly playable set right there. You know, you can just play like that. Next, we're going to go with Forever Evil. Forever Evil is a cool one because it allows us to play as the bad guys. And you know what? It's always fun to be the good guy, of course, be the hero. But sometimes you don't want to be, and you want to try something a little different. The ability to play as everyone's favorite bad guys, for the most part. And I didn't know they would have this, but I guess it does. So it comes with the other tokens, I guess, that would come in this set, which I think is point tokens. Kind of cool there. Little chips. And then I guess frozen tokens. This card cannot be bought or gained. It's frozen. Someone must have this ability to make this a thing. So let's take a look at the super villains in this set. We already know one of them, and he is Black Adam. The first time you play superpower during each of your turns, you may destroy it, and if you do, draw a card and gain 1 victory point. Really cool thing about that is that you can buy a kick. Buy a kick, destroy it, draw a card. Pretty cool. And also keep in mind that once you play it, you immediately get the points off of it. His effect kicks off, destroy it, also draw a card. Okay. Ooh, Black Manta. You may put any cards you buy or gain from the lineup on the bottom of your deck instead of on top of your deck. I guess you could strategically kind of go with that. His is kind of like a reverse Aquaman in that kind of way, which kind of makes sense. Bizarro. When you destroy a card, gain a weakness. During your turn, you may put 2 weakness cards from your discard pile on top of the weakness stack, and if you do, draw a card. That's interesting. That's something. Deathstroke. +1 for each card you destroy during your turn. Harley Quinn. During each of your turns, the first time you pass a card or discard a card, draw a card. Lex Luthor. At the end of your turn, draw an extra card for each hero you bought or gained during your turn. Sinestro. When one or more foes fail to avoid an attack you play, gain 1 victory point. First time you gain victory points during each of your turns, draw a card. So it looks like victory points play a big part of this, and destroying cards, or in Harley's case, moving them. Kind of interesting. We'll see how that plays out. One thing I really like is like those facsimile editions of comics where they just basically just reprint a comic almost verbatim as it was back when it first released. So we have the Venom Injector for Bane, and they just released a It's like the origin story of Bane, facsimile edition. So they just like reprinted the original old one, and it was pretty cool. Cold Gun, Pandora's Box, Man Bat Serum. Okay. Yeah, a lot of victory points on some of these. Destroying cards. There you go. The Frozen Token. Sledgehammer. Mallet. Draw it or pass it. There you go. Mallet. Secret Society Communicator. Cosmic Staff. Broadsword. Just a cool sword. Firestorm Matrix. Interesting. Power Armor. Steve Trevor. Okay, cool, cool. Commissioner Gordon. Yeah, let's get it. Oh, those are weak. Vibe. Catwoman. I like that because I think that does play with the core sets. The Dark Knight, because you play a Catwoman before, and her name is Catwoman, so I think that does count. Dr. Light. Steel, who doesn't look at all like what I was thinking. Amanda Waller. Element Woman. Stargirl. Phantom Stranger. Power Girl. It's not too bad. Firestorm. Pandora. Okay, so we have the superhero. So I guess this is like the super villains of the set because they're, opposite. This one starts at the top. It's the Flash. Green Arrow. Swamp Thing. Constantine. Cyborg. These are pretty cool. Aquaman. Batman, who's an 11. Who beats that? Oh, Green Lantern's the same. Wonder Woman's the same. Martian Manhunter, there you go, 12. Shazam, 12. Is Superman going to be 13? Yes, he is. Ooh, that's going to be a hard one to beat. Next we have Belle Reeve. Location, Blackgate Prison, Central City, Happy Harbor, Star Labs, Earth 3. Then we go into some powers, superpowers. Word of Power. Giant Growth, which didn't really do all too much. Insanity, which is like a super weird superpower, but we'll go with it. Expert Marksman. Again, I don't know about superpower, but it's definitely a trait. Invulnerability. There we go. And then the kicks, which is Harley doing a kick. I like that. Power Drain. Super Intellect. Fair. Transmutation. Bizarro Power. Actually, let's see what he says. It actually takes away victory points when you count this one because, Bizarro. Plus 4 power, which is good. Gain a weakness. Attack. Each foe gains a weakness, but if you're playing as Bizarro, you're able to kind of pivot that into something useful or good for you. Constructs of Fear. Ultra Strength. Plus 3 and draw 2. I mean, I absolutely love that. I think that's actually Ultraman doing that. I think his name's Ultraman. Emperor Penguin. I don't know who he is. I don't think that's just Penguin, but he looks cooler. Grid. And actually, we have another grid on the second stack. Okay, we have Grid. Johnny Quick. Atomica. Ooh, Man-Bat. Deathstorm, Giganta, The Blight, Royal Flush Gang. Oh, there's a bunch of those. Despero. Ooh, Owlman. Power Ring. Superwoman. Ultraman. There you go. Punch, who is from Lex, which is really neat. Bunch of punches. And then the vulnerabilities is Black Adam being hurt. And the weakness is, oh my gosh, a very corrupted and injured Green Lantern. So that was really cool. I'm loving what we see here so far. Okay, so we've gone through 3 of the boxes so far. Next up we have Confrontations, which is very similar in the vein of the versus. So Batman versus Joker, Green Lantern versus Sinestro, and now, coming up, we're going to get the Flash versus Reverse Flash. But what hero and villain combos are we missing? We've already seen it earlier when we had a quick look at the manual, but we're about to get a little more. A lot more, actually. What is that? Are these just turn counters? 1 to 4, 1 to 4? I don't know, but that's neat. A lot more main character cards, we'll call them this time. Superman, level 1. At the start of each of your turns, you may add the top card of the main deck to the lineup. Level 2. At the start of your turns, if you have fewer than 5 cards in your hand, draw a card. And then level 3. Each time you or your teammate declares a confrontation, you may draw up to 2 cards. Then discard that many. It's kind of cool. Try to make sure you don't have a dead hand. We have Wonder Woman, level 1. The first time you buy or gain a defense or block, during each of your turns, you may destroy a card in your teammate's discard pile. Level 2. +1 power for each defense or block you play during your turn. Once during a confrontation, you may discard a defense. If you do, add 2 to a character's cost this turn. Level 3. Confrontation. Each time you play defense or block this turn, draw a card. Zatanna Zatara, level 1. You may put each hero you buy or gain on top of any player's deck. Level 2. Once during each of your turns, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck, discard any number of them, put the rest back in any order. Level 3. You may look at the top card of your deck at any time. Each time you or your teammate plays a hero during a confrontation, you may discard the top card of your deck. Aquaman. I like that art. Level 1. The first time you buy a card from the lineup, during each of your turns, you may gain a card of that type and lower cost from the lineup. You buy a 9, you can get an 8 for free. Level 2. Once during each of your turns, +1 power for every 7 cards in your discard pile. 7 seas, 7 kingdoms. Okay, I get it. It's fun. Level 3. Confrontation. Once during your turn, +2 for every 7 cards in your discard pile. So it kind of just goes off of that one. I get it. And the reverse side, we have Ocean Master, level 1. At the end of your turn, if you bought or gained 2 or more cards, you may destroy a card you played this turn. Ocean Master. Once during each of your turns, you may put a card with a cost of 3 or less from your discard pile into your hand. That's actually really good. Level 3. Confrontation. +1 power for every non-starter card with a cost 2, 3, or 4 you play. Cersei. Level 1. You may put each villain you buy or gain on top of any player's deck. Level 2. Confrontation. When you play your first card during each of your turns, you may cancel this confrontation and buy cards as usual. Level 3. Once during each of your turns, a confrontation in your hand has assist. Lex Luthor, level 1. Discard a non-starter assist card, draw 2, use only once per turn. Level 2. +1 power for each non-starter assist you play this turn. Level 3. Confrontation, draw a card for each non-starter assist you play this turn. Felix Faust. Level 1. Once during each of your turns, you may gain a weakness from the weakness stack. If you do, +2 power. Level 2. At the start of each of your turns, you may choose left or right. If you do, each player passes a card from their hand to the player in that direction. Best played in more than, a 1v1 situation. Felix Faust, level 3. Weakness cards you play have +1 power. Confrontation. Once during your turn, draw a card for each player with 1 or more weaknesses in their discard pile. Very interesting game he's playing. What do we have here? Confrontations. Oh, it's a divider. So you can organize your cards and have this guy right there. And I do believe it's a little taller, as it just needs to be for these cards to all stay together. I like that. I appreciate that. We'll keep that right there. A little worried that we didn't get other ones, but, probably in some of the other... they're a randomizer. Now, from what I do recall, because I do have the Teen Titans Go set that I got secondhand, it has one of these larger, thicker cards, dividers, and it has a randomizer card. So I guess if you want to make your game more random and, you have all this to choose from, but you don't want to necessarily choose one or the other, or you're not sure, I have so much and it's all pretty good, which one do I want to use? Well, let's make it random. We have Dead Man, who each one has a team, so that's Zatanna's. Jimmy Olsen, obviously Superman. Tula. Tempest. Lana Lang. Steve Trevor. Yawara. Crypto, the Super Dog, Ragman, the others. Steel, still not the Steel I want. Lois Lane, now that's good art. I just like that. The Blue Devil, Madame Xanadu, John Constantine, he's always smoking, he's always cool. Mara, okay. The Toy Master, Superboy, Animal Man, love to see him. Hephaestus, Supergirl, Donna Troy, Hermes, Hera, Poseidon, Dr. Fate, Orion, Ares, Swamp Thing, The Trench, King Shark, I hate it, The Creeper, Giganta, Siren, Black Briar Thorn, Black Manta, Dr. Destiny, Silver Banshee, Parasite, it's really cool, and you see that Superman not having a good time at all. Nereus, Chimera, Cheetah, Amazo, Metallo, Artemis, Atlan, Feora, Clarion, Etrigan, Zod, oh that's cool, Enchantress, Bizarro, Strife, Doomsday, Eclipso, Firstborn, not sure who that is, Magog, Apollo, Trident of Neptune, Magic Bracelets, Phantom Zone Projector, Crown of Atlantis, Power Armor, Dead King Scepter, Kryptonite, Trident of Lucifer, Black Diamond, Globe of Transportation, Amazovirus, Book of Magic, Pots, Telepathy, Flight, Mystic Control, Water Control, Strength of the Gods, Dark Arts, Illusions, Tigraph, Cold Breath, Impervious, Scientific Genius, Daily Planet, Amnesty Bay, Themyscira, The Deep, Olympus, LexCorp, and then we have the starter cards. Put those back, put those on top. So the Superman, I guess, I'm wondering if they're all different. I think they are all different. So you have Enhanced Strength starter card. You have Just Punches, which is cool that it's Aquaman, I think. Then you have the vulnerabilities, which is Wonder Woman. So you have 3 there kind of showcased, which is kind of neat. You have Lex Luthor doing your punch. And then he's also got some vulnerabilities, but he doesn't have any of those enhanced punches, or, sorry, enhanced strength. So that must be shared. Vulnerability, and then weakness is Superman having a bad time with the kryptonite, which I feel like we've done before, but that's fine. That's okay. Okay, last but not least, we have Dark Knight's Metal, and what the heck? It's a cardboard card. Wow, that really threw me for a loop. Okay, well, okay. Well, first we have our divider card, which is really cool, good quality, and it definitely looks cooler than the last one, but this one feels more uniform with the DC deck building type thing. This one by itself is just kind of cool. Set those aside. We have this, I guess, promo card. It is literally made of cardboard, but not even like straight cut cardboard. I don't know what to think about it, but it's here. I wonder if we have another one here, or if it's just like a really weird promo. Let me just take a quick look. No, yeah, it's just by itself. All right, well, let's look at it. Each time you gain a supervillain with a cost of 13 or less, rescue a captured character and gain 2 weakness cards. If at any time there are no captured characters, the top card of the character stack becomes captured. I think that goes for like the ones you aren't using becomes captured, so maybe that's why that is. First of the real heroes we have is Batman. Each time you play a weakness, look at the top card of your deck, destroy it, or leave it. Superman. It requires 3 weakness cards for your character to become captured. The third weakness is also returned to the stack. Each time you play a weakness, +1 power. Wonder Woman. Once during each of your turns, if you control 2 or more equipment and or superpowers, draw 2, then discard 2. That's pretty good, actually. The Flash. Once during each of your turns, when you play a defense, draw a card. I like that. Hal Jordan. The second time you buy or gain a card from the lineup during each of your turns, you may destroy a starter card you control. Not terrible. It's pretty good. Buying a second time is crucial. Cyborg. Once during each of your turns, +1 for each metal card you control. Ooh, Bearded Aquaman. Once during each of your turns, if you control 2 or more villain and or superpowers, +1 power, and you may put cards you gain this turn on top of your deck. Okay, I like this. Mr. Terrific. Once during each of your turns, you may gain a weakness and put into your hand. If you do, draw 2. I don't hate it. You know, drawing 2 is always good. Kendra Saunders. I don't really remember who this is. Once during each of your turns, you control 2 or more villains and or heroes, +2 power. Not bad. Dr. Fate. During each of your turns, if you control 2 or more heroes and or equipment, put up to 3 cards with cost 0 from your discard into your hand. So, as far as I know, you would get punches and vulnerabilities, maybe weaknesses, if that can be a good thing for you. Last but not least, we have Plastic Man. Once during each of your turns, you may have the next card you play gain a type or subtype of your choice until the end of the turn, because he's able to morph into things, so I get it. These might be the metal cards, because they say metal there, whereas the other ones don't seem to. So let's take a look at this stack, which looks to have starter basic cards. We have a bunch of punches from Wonder Woman, vulnerabilities on the Batman. Oh, okay, some special breakthrough cards. It's like the kick, it looks like, but they're specifically not kicks, so they're not superpowers. Weakness of Superman. Kind of always that way, I guess. Let's open up the next one, because it'll go with it, I bet. I would guess that these metal cards aren't that relevant, because there aren't that many. Multiverse map equipment, Phantom Zone projector, Phoenix cannon, Carter Hall's journal, T-spheres, it's kind of cool, anti-monitors antenna, plastic man, so that's him right there, I guess. Detective Chimp, Aquaman, Mr. Terrific, Dr. Fate, Hal Jordan, The Flash, draw card, defense, avoid an attack, draw 3, discard 3. That's not bad. Dream, Superman, Wonder Woman, Escape, Flight, I don't hate it, X-Ray Vision, Hyper Time, Fair Play, Speed Force, Search the Depths, Warcry, Fulcrum Abominus, Mecha Construct, I actually really love that. Ankh Portal, that's cool. Power Channeling, Brutal Chase, Rabid Robins, villain, when you gain this, gain a weakness, +1, draw a card. Baby Darkseid, Strigidai, Ra's al Ghul, Court of Owls, Black Manta, Starro, that's kind of cool, Black Adam, Challenger Mountain, Tomb of Hathset, Oblivion Bar, The Dark Multiverse, Forge of Worlds. Oh, okay, let's see the supervillains. The Murder Machine, The Drowned, The Red Death, The Merciless. They all look Batman-y, so I wonder if that's like the point. The Dawnbreaker, The Devastator, Barbados, And then with the randomizer card. Okay, let's set that aside. And we have the metal cards. Electrum. Oh my gosh. Diancium. Protheum. Batmanium. 8th Metal Sunblade. Nth Metal Mace. Element X. Kendra Saunders. Steel. That's closer to what I actually wanted for Steel. Cyborg 1 million. Aminar Sin. Is that Darkseid but not evil? Deathstroke. Lady Blackhawk. And Carter Hall. Oh my god, that's awesome. That was really cool. Those metal cards do look really, really cool. And I think that was it. Yes, that was it. And then you add the base cards, which I'm not going to open right now. But that was it for the DC deck building game Kickstarter Multiverse Edition cards. As well as the manuals. Again, you have to buy them separately, but they are really good to have so you know exactly what this means or why you have these if it's not super obvious. That's all for now, guys. Manjoume out.